So you're growing up, right, in the 80s, right? In New York, you're living in Long Island. Well, actually, first before then, what made you guys move back to New York after you were living in Chile to sixth grade?
Like I said, they went over there with the intention of like starting all over, right? So they did. My mom bought a little storefront. And my pops, what he was doing was he was coming to work still at the restaurant for 6 months, and then he would go to Chile for 6 months. So he did that for 2 years. So that had to be rough on him as a man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we're very a tight knit family. You know what I mean? So I think even for me as a kid, like me and my upbringing was beautiful. You understand what I'm saying? Like I got nothing bad to say about my upbringing. So with that being said, I think it was probably like economical reasons, right? Money reasons, and then probably the fact that my pops was like sacrificing way too much for what he was getting in return. You feel what I'm saying? So, and then eventually I got, like you said, it was slow. It was slow. Even though I was like sixth grade, it was like I was ready to come back. You know what I mean? It was just I wasn't getting. It was cool, but it wasn't like it wasn't like I want to stay there. You feel me? I want to go and visit. Like I was on that type of time, you know what I mean? My sister ended up staying the whole time. She never came back because we never sold the house out there, nothing. We just came back.
Wow.
We left the crib out there. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So then
I think it was something like that.
So you end up coming back, right? But your sister stays there?
Right. So yeah.
And she's only 6 years older than you, so like she just ends up living on her own, or?
Nah, so so we had my aunt of mine, shout out Thea Chava, right? She ends up, her and rest in peace, her husband and my uncle passed away, but they was like the cool uncles of the family, the cool uncles and aunt of the family, you know what I mean? They used to smoke, you know what I mean, drink, party.
Right.
Long story short, my mom's left them in charge of the crib and my sister while she goes to school out there and gets her education.
Yeah, so then you end up coming back to New York, right? It's the 80s, like what, 80 what?
I was in sixth grade, right? So
you're about 12, right?
Yeah, about 12. So yeah, it was gonna be like 88, like 89.
So help paint the scene for us. You guys move immediately to Long Island?
Yeah, we come right back to the town. I said Hicksville. That's where I was at, right? It's a town called Hicksville. And we came back. I was in seventh grade now. So I'm back. And then I knew some of the kids already in the school. You feel me? Like I just back to New York type shit. You know what I mean? So from there, that's when it really started. Like seventh grade and up, it's like where Poe started. Now here comes Poe. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Poe Rilla. Poe Rilla comes later. Poe comes around this time. You feel me?
So what was what was New York like at that time?
At that time, it was
because it's the 80s, so it's the crack era, right?
Yeah, right. It's the late 80s. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be honest. Where I was at, I wasn't. You seeing shit, but you ain't see too much. I was kind of like Long Island is weird because, like I said, I came from the boroughs, right, to Long Island. So we always thought Long Island was sweet in every sense of the word. You feel me? Like, so ain't nothing going on out here. Shit is cool. Shit is smooth. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it was a lot of like you ain't see like shit like that on the corner. You know what I mean? Like you knew what was going on, but since the layout of Long Island is different. Now, come to find out, all the years later, I found out, no, Long Island is definitely turned up. You got to watch where you go. There's nice towns and there's nasty towns. You know what I'm saying? There's a hood. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like LA. I describe it to people.
Right.
To describe Long Island, it's got to be something like LA because it's houses. It could be houses everywhere, but, like Compton got cribs. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you could be in the middle of a badass neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was the 80s, heavy hip hop. I remember a lot of break dancing going on. Like the break beats, the b-boy shit and all that, you know what I mean? I just remember that really. I was really into West Coast music at that age. You know what I'm saying?
Why West Coast?
I'm gonna be real with you. I just felt like my favorite rapper is Ice Cube. And if you ever listen to his music, like he would put movies together, man. Like I would throw them headphones on and I would just vibe out. Him, Ice-T, you know what I'm saying? All that. Like they would paint a picture, you know what I'm saying? So I really like that. New York to me was more like they was spitting, but they wasn't telling them stories like that. Them gangster stories I like, you know what I mean? That I would hear. You feel
Oh,
me?
wait. I gotta stop you there because what about Nas? Nas tells stories,
No,
right?
but
Oh,
that was
but
that the
not like
same era?
gangster stories though.
No, was that the same year though? No, because Nas, It Was Written is a classic. Like that's one of my favorite
Right.
joints too. I'm like, so I go, this is the beginning of like when I'm getting into it.
Oh, you're
I was
right,
really
because
into.
this is the 80s. The 80s you're talking
Yeah, I'm
about,
still a
right?
kid. I'm still a kid. Like I remember, like I used to like going through the radio. I could catch my favorite shit was Stretch and Bobito. I'm talking about these days.